What's going on, guys? What's going on? What's going on? Do not worry. TJ will be here shortly. He's actually on his way home. He's already calculated all the values. He got off work a little bit late, so I decided to start a little bit early because we have a ton of games to go through. So do not worry, TJ will be here. And they just adjusted the Memphis minutes, so I have to update those. So I will do that before the stream starts. I'll give it a few more minutes for you guys to join, and then I'll go ahead and get started. So I do appreciate you guys waiting here. Look at this list of people out. Unbelievable. Appreciate the support, guys. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Again, TJ will be joining here shortly. He is on his way home. I decided to start just a little bit early, though. These minutes keep adjusting for Memphis, and I just keep going back and forth here, so just bear with me. I'm going to give you guys some updated values here in a second. Well, do you know what? Let's get rid of... Let's get rid of the main guys here. Now, feel free to enter any of the updated injuries into the live chat, guys. TJ will be joining here pretty soon. Again, we don't know what's going on with Melton. I believe he was available to play as the last status. I don't know. He was questionable. He's bouncing in and out of questionable. He was going to play. He wasn't going to play. So, yeah, all that good stuff, guys. Just let me know what all the injuries are. Yeah, let's go with those guys. And look at that, TJ is joining now. Good timing. I was just talking about you, TJ.
Yo!
Yeah, we are live.
I know. What's going on, guys? I'm here.
Also, you are echoing.
Sorry, I'm late. Am I? It's the...
Volume.
That should be better, right?
Yep.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, echo. Yeah, you're good.
Echo. Sorry, guys. Can't leave while the boss is still there on Friday, so... Especially when they don't work at your branch. So you gotta gut it out.
I actually just started, so I am still updating values for Memphis because their minutes keep updating.
They do. Okay.
Yeah.
Whose minutes are updating?
So,
do
like...
Do we have anything on Melton yet? He's
no,
still
we don't. I believe he's
still
still
just don't play. Just sit. Sit one more game, you know? Have you updated with Dante being out?
Nope, haven't done that yet. Do you want to go ahead and get started on that?
Yep. Of course, that was the last team that I did before I left, and I did it with Dante. So, all right.
I've been doing this all day. It's been frustrating. Literally, I've been updating values all day long.
That's the one thing that stinks about getting started so early on values is it's like nothing's ever really concrete, especially like we all thought Melton was going to sit. Now he's questionable. So he plays. It's just one more thing you got to go back and do. So,
yeah.
Okay. So you said, so I'm assuming now with Dante out that Wesley Matthews starts. Not that really intrigues me with Wes Matthews. Where's my court IQ? There we are.
Yeah, guys, I'm just updating the minutes real quick here. Yeah, hopefully everybody had a great Friday. Yeah. Thank goodness it is the weekend.
I'm exhausted, so I cannot wait to stay up till 1:30 and watch my lineups and then do what I do every night.
Yeah.
Don't change my my approach at all in life. That's not fun.
All right. I got the updated minutes. I'll go ahead and kickstart this thing. TJ, you can go ahead and keep working. All right, guys. Thanks for joining again. Another great showing. Again, appreciate all the support on the videos. We got a huge viewer count today on the video. So again, appreciate all the support, guys. I got a question earlier on the merchandise. I know a couple of you are wondering. Yes, we improved some of the t-shirt quality for that, so it should be out next week. So if you guys are waiting for merchandise, do wait one more week and we'll have that up for you guys. We are building some t-shirt designs. So if you guys actually have any ideas, feel free to DM us. Feel free to enter in the chat some ideas. So those will be rolling out here in the next week or so. Also,
don't worry, guys. Cooking up some nice ideas. So
yeah. TJ's had some really good ideas. Also, guys, again, we do have a tip tab here at the bottom. So if you guys do feel the need or obligation to give a tip, you guys will get a shout out on the stream. Of course, no obligation whatsoever. So, yeah, with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and dive right into the slate. It is a very juicy one, to say the least. It has a ton of value. I've been updating values all day long, and I have found an edge. I've been putting my favorite plays in the Discord. I've also been updating on the pinned post throughout the day. So me and TJ have honestly not really talked that much about it. So this is the first time we've been going back and forth. So TJ, let's go ahead and start with some of the chalk. Are you done with Milwaukee or not yet?
Almost.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start talking about Memphis then. So Memphis is without Jaren Jackson. Hold on, let me take a drink here.
Yeah, stay hydrated, guys.
Yeah.
Make sure you stay hydrated.
Without Jaren Jackson and pretty much everybody, all their bench players, the one thing to note is that Valanciunas does not have a second string. He doesn't have a third string backing him up, and they're projecting Solomon Hill to switch into the power forward position at some point, and they might even slide down to the center position. There's really no big guys for Memphis. So with all that being said, we really like, or at least I really like Valanciunas tonight. He's going to be one of the most chalkiest options on the entire slate at the center position, with good reason. He's going to be in a pace up spot. So with all those other injuries, though, value has opened up with Solomon Hill here at 28 minutes, 7.1 on our sheet. Kyle Anderson 6.7, Tyus Jones 6.6. However, his ownership is a little bit lower than I thought it would be. So again, GPP option for that, just because of the 22 minutes. Val's a great option. John Morant's a great option. Jay Crowder is a pretty decent option. Dylan Brooks, good option. Honestly, like this entire roster, I'm not opposed to you guys stacking this team because they are very undervalued. It's a pace-up game. I really like these Grizzlies. And it's about how much you want to play, and then where you're gonna pay up for, who you're gonna pay up for. I think that's gonna be a difference maker, and I think this is a huge GPP opportunity, a huge edge in GPPs. If you're gonna go ahead and play a lot of these Memphis Grizzlies, go ahead and play a different variety of these guys. Mix and match with people like Harden, Lillard, LeBron James, all these pay-up options. There's a ton of options on the slate. I think that is the edge. But like the other night when we had a bunch of GPP takedowns, we started with the Milwaukee build with all of that value in that game. Obviously, you guys know all about that. Memphis is pretty similar. It's not as extreme, but guys, it's pretty close. There's a lot of hidden value here in this game. TJ, what do you think about the Grizzlies?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty important for us to figure out what's going on with Melton in terms of their guards, because I think if Melton's out, that gives Tyus Jones a couple more minutes and becomes a very intriguing GPP play at 3,100. Already is pretty intriguing. Looks like he's going to see 20-ish minutes right now. So with Melton out, I think he only gets more minutes. So I'm definitely waiting to see what goes on with Melton to see how heavy I'll be on Tyus Jones for GPPs. I think Valanciunas is a lock in cash tonight at 6'3" at the center position. Like Matt alluded to, they don't have any other bigs. I mean, Kyle Anderson, I guess, maybe could get some run at the 5. Solomon Hill, some run at the 5. Besides that, they don't have any other bigs. So I expect Val to play as many minutes as he possibly can, as long as he can stay out of foul trouble. They're going to need him in there to cover guys like Favors, Zion Williamson down low. So it's definitely a tough matchup for the Memphis Bigs, and it's just Val. So I expect him to play as many minutes as he possibly can. So I definitely think that he's a building block tonight in cash. The sample size that we have with all these injuries is pretty minimal. So
yeah, I just took off Jackson, and I took off a couple other guys to open up the sample size a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the minutes were okay. It was a little bit. Most guys were above 100 minutes, which is good. So Val's probably my favorite play from these guys for cash. I definitely like Jay Crowder at 4,500 for cash too. If you land on him, I don't hate that. should see 30 plus minutes, averages 0.93 fantasy points per minute with all these guys off the court. So I don't hate Crowder for cash. I think he's in a really good spot. And this, I mean, we haven't even talked about the over-under for this game. It's absolutely absurd. This should just be back and forth, back and forth. Kyle Anderson should see the 30-ish minutes again tonight, 3,800, averages 0.85 fantasy points per minute. Don't hate him for cash. Matt said Solomon Hill. I could definitely get behind that. 3K. Should see 26 to 30 minutes tonight. I don't hate him for cash. I think all these cheap guys from Memphis are cash viable. And I think it's really important that you take some of these guys because I definitely think it's a stars and scrubs type lineup tonight for cash with, and obviously your mid-tier guy being Valanciunas. And then the one thing that Matt and I really like to do in most of these games is, you want to stack Memphis for cash tonight. GPPs, like you said, Dylan Brooks, great play. I think all these guys are great plays. And even if Melton's out, like I said, definitely gives Tyus Jones a little bit of bump for me. But going on the other side and taking somebody to come back with, and for me, that would definitely be Brandon Ingram. So, but I mean, Valanciunas, cash, I block him in there at your center position. And then, I mean, Crowder, Anderson, Tyus Jones, Solomon Hill, all cash viable. Not Tyus Jones, actually. We got to wait for Melton. But Jay Crowder, Anderson, Solomon Hill, I think all three of those are cash viable as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about the Pelicans while we're here. So Zion Williamson was projected at 30 minutes earlier. He's projected at 28. He did get a nice little run last game. He got 29 minutes, so it seems like 28 is a pretty conservative number. Again, this is an absurd over-under. They are the highest over-under on the slate. Yep, highest over-under on the slate. So I started Ingram and GPPs last time, and he got off to a roaring start. I thought it was going to be 100%. I thought he was going to be in my takedown lineup, but he slowed down. He got up to 39 DK points. He has a very good matchup tonight. I think that he's in a solid game. I know Zion Williamson eats into his usage, but I wouldn't be too worried about that in this type of game. In any other game, I would be concerned about that, but 7.4 is definitely a price tag he can cover in this high-paced game. Zion Williamson at 7K is not that bad of an option either. 28 minutes, averages, 1.4? I think the last time I checked, 1.4 fantasy points per minute. So the guy can obviously play. Yeah, so they're actually having him at a decent ownership here, 15% in tournaments. They're tagging him as a cash play. I don't know if he's cash viable, but I definitely don't mind him. I don't mind Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Derek Favors and cash. I think Derek Favors also, just with the pace up, 5.5 is showing a little bit undervalued on their sheet. 27 minutes, they had him projected at 28 earlier. But I think these guys are cash viable strictly because of the pace of the game. I think the soft pricing here, I think Brandon Ingram should deserve at least an 8K price tag in this type of pace-up game. Zion Williamson obviously is very capable of hitting that. So I think these guys are cash viable as well.
Yeah, I think the common theme for tonight for cash is going to be to stack this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people have, Valanciunas, Crowder, Solomon Hill, maybe one more of those Memphis guys in cash and come back with Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. Because I definitely don't hate that 7K price tag for Zion, especially with this matchup. I mean, we just talked about how the Grizzlies are just absolutely decimated at the big position tonight. So I don't really think that somebody like Kyle Anderson can really lock down Zion Williamson down low. So I definitely like Zion's matchup. I think he is cash viable. So we'll have to wait and see if he ends up in my lineup because I definitely kind of want to go get Harden again tonight, unfortunately. Brandon Ingram at 7.4 in this type of matchup, it's a smash spot for him. It's great value. So those are the two guys that I'm really honing in on for cash. I like Favors as a GPP play, just again because of the matchup. So those are the three guys that I'm kind of looking at for cash. And I don't mind Lonzo as a GPP play. But yeah, Ingram, Zion for cash, I can get behind, and then Favors as a GPP play.
Yeah, and before we get any questions on the matchup side of Memphis, I know that Valanciunas doesn't draw the best matchup against Favors, but again, guys, when you're talking about a very thin rotation like Memphis, you can throw basically all of the matchup, narratives out the window at that point because you really don't know who's going to get into the lineup. Obviously, like with Solomon Hill, doesn't play normally in the Memphis lineup. We don't know how he's going to act in there. We don't know how Valanciunas is going to act with people like Tyus Jones in there and not playing with his typical starting lineup. So again, we don't know how this is going to mesh together. You kind of have to just use your intuition at this point and use our stats that we have here. So again, don't look too much at the matchups when you're talking about very thin rotations like on Memphis. It will end up hurting you in the long run. Like if you look here at Tyus Jones, they ranked 10th in the league here against opposing distributors. So if you look at that, you're like, oh no, off Tyus Jones. Absolutely not. He has way too much usage in this game. He could be in a really good GPP spot. So just don't look at matchups is all I'm saying.
They're running PJ Tucker at the 5 again, like they did against Utah.
Good to know.
It's unbelievable. Good for him.
Let's go ahead and jump over to Dallas real quick. I want to get all the chalk out of the way before we start answering questions and talk about these other teams.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, let's fire this away. Let's go ahead and start with Brunson. Obviously, Brunson 8.1.
Yeah, Cats, lock him in.
Yeah, 30 minutes here.
Lock him in. He's in your cash lineup.
Obviously, without Doncic here. So they're playing in a slight pace-up spot, Dallas is, against Houston. Jalen Brunson is an 8.1 on the sheet. Finney Smith is also not a bad play. Again, I prefer these Memphis Grizzlies. I think the only really, really solid play here is Brunson. However, these guys are all GPP viable. I think Porzingis here, 28 minutes, 6.8. Obviously, he takes all this usage away from Doncic. But again, 28 minutes, we don't really know what's going to go on there. He'd have to get hot pretty quick. To have a lot of a big ceiling, but again, 6.8 is pretty cheap for him. I don't mind him. Again, with there being so many options like Valanciunas in that same price range, I don't know if I'm going to get to Porzingis. However, a GPP option for sure. I do like Finney Smith, Porzingis, and then I think I'm going to draw the line there. Seth Curry is another decent option, but again, with there being so many options on the Memphis Grizzlies, I do think that these guys are the only guys I'm looking at here for Dallas. What do you think, TJ?
Yeah, so Jalen Brunson, lock in cash tonight, 3,800. I think that he's the chalkiest guy in the slate, so make sure you have him in cash lineups. Don't hate him for GPPs, obviously, as well. He's in a fantastic spot, getting the minutes, benefits greatly from Luka being off the court. Averages 1.03 fantasy points per minute, and at 38K, he's $38,000. Yeah, he's the only guy you can roster tonight. At 3,800, 30 minutes, I mean, do the math. He'll definitely hit you value. So I definitely think Jalen Brunson is a lock along with Valanciunas for cash. The one guy, so Porzingis is tricky, and if his minutes were there, I would love him tonight. Mm-hmm. There were 4 games that Luka missed in December, and Porzingis averaged 35 minutes. But since he's come back from his knee injury, in 5 games, he's averaged 27 minutes. So they're kind of taking it easy on him. So it's pretty tough to gauge as to how many minutes he'll get tonight. Will he get 35? Probably not. Will he see 27? I think he sees more tonight just because Luka's off the court. And in those games, he averaged like 52 fantasy points per minute with Luka off, 52 Draftkings points with Luka off the court. So I definitely like Porzingis, but I think he's going to be more of a GPP play for me tonight. We're going to have to wait and see how things change over the next half hour, but I definitely think he's in a really good spot. I mean, going up against PJ Tucker, Daniel House, like they don't have anybody that can cover him.
Right.
We shouldn't say that because we thought Gobert was going to have 30 rebounds that night that PJ Tucker started at center, and PJ Tucker bodied him. So
again, that's why I don't look at matchups way too.
Maybe we don't speak too soon. So that's definitely interesting. Matt said Finney Smith's a good play. I agree with that. The one guy that I am kind of interested in is JJ Barea as a GPP play tonight. He actually averages, the sample size is pretty small, but he averages 1.36 fantasy points per minute with Luka off the court. If for some reason this game ends up in a blowout somehow, or JJ gets extra run, he plays really well. So he's projected at like 16, 18 minutes right now. If he somehow sees 22, 24, I think he's in a fantastic spot. He's a very productive fantasy point per minute player. So I'm definitely going to be overweight on JJ Barea tonight. I hope he plays the minutes that he's supposed to play. I hope this isn't a Trey Lyles situation or a Goga situation. So as long as JJ Barea can see those 20 minutes maybe at 3,600, I like him as a GPP play. But like we talked about, I think Brunson is a cash lock. I don't hate DFS in this spot tonight at 4,400, seeing 31 minutes. If Porzingis sees the minutes, I love him tonight. I just don't know if they're going to be there. I hope they are because he's definitely a potential cash play for me tonight. But I definitely like him in GPPs as well. And then JJ Barea is definitely somebody I'm going to try and be sneaky overweight on tonight. Serious?
All right. Give me the hang up.
Scared out of me. Yep.
All right.
Another pipeline.
All right. So there's There's always fire alarms going off for TJ. I'm going to go ahead and move down the line here, guys. Before I get started with that, thank you so much for the support, guys. Feel free to ask any questions you guys have in the chat. I'll be sure to get to them here. Hopefully I answer a lot of questions here rolling down the line. We're going to go ahead to the Houston Chuck. So Houston, with Capella being ruled out, this is the most interesting picture of the entire slate because I was actually surprised, and I mentioned this in Discord, I mentioned this on my pin post, with Capella off the court, and I can actually show you guys here real quick, just to like kind of paint a picture of what I'm looking at here. Alright, so with Capella off the court, guys, James Harden gets a 5.5% usage boost and a 0.23 fantasy points per minute boost. Also, Russell Westbrook gets a 1.7% usage boost and a 0.17 fantasy points per minute boost. So, with all that being said, James Harden garnishes a 42.9% usage and a 1.81 fantasy points per minute usage rate here. 34.9% for Russell Westbrook and 1.52 fantasy points per minute. So, Houston... Oh, I'm sorry. Is my mic not working? Sorry. Testing. 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 Can you guys hear me? Is this good? Are we fixed? Let me know if this is fixed. I want to make sure I'm good to go. It's fixed? Can I get more confirmation here? Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. So, yeah, James Harden garnishes a 1.81 fantasy points per minute. He gets a 5.5% usage boost. Guys, I know James Harden has been struggling, which is like the only reason I'd be off of this guy. But James Harden, if he's actually 20% owned in tournaments, James Harden is getting a huge usage boost. Again, don't let recency bias hurt you here. Okay? If there is really something wrong with James Harden, Russell Westbrook is another good option if you don't feel comfortable. One of these two guys, if not both of them, they're in this high over-under with Houston, okay? So, again, this if they're scoring 122 points, guys, do not feel afraid to start James Harden or Russell Westbrook. At least be overweight on the field at 20% and 17%. There's so many options tonight that these guys might turn into really good GPP options. Okay, so I will say that now. James Harden and Russell Westbrook do get a massive usage boost and fantasy point per minute output boost with Capella off the court, which I was very surprised about. Maybe it's just with the rebounding. Maybe it's just the way that the offense runs without them or without Capella. But guys, like I said, Harden and Westbrook are very good options here for GPP. I don't know about the ownership yet. I don't know if they're going to be cash viable, but like I said, they are very good GPP options. I'm going to go ahead and calculate. I know that TJ had already done this, but obviously he had to get off there for a little bit. So let me go ahead and calculate what the Bucks are going to look like with DiVincenzo. Also, is Frank Mason out for Milwaukee? Can you guys confirm that? I don't really have an updated status on him. George Hill. DiVincenzo. Yep, I'll get to your questions in just a second, guys. Let me go ahead and do this real quick. All right. Pat Connaughton's going to get a slight boost here in minutes, so that's noteworthy. 21 though. Probably not going to do much. For you guys that are new to the stream, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button, guys. I want to see you guys first to the stream all the time. We do this every single slate. We break down the slate and its entirety all the way up through lock to help give you guys an edge. So again, if this is your first time, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you back on the stream. 0.87 for Brook Lopez. 27 minutes here. And Giannis is playing. He's averaging 1.83 fantasy points per minute. Middleton, not noteworthy. All right, so let's take a step back here and look at Milwaukee. So that really didn't help anybody. The only guy I'm really going to recommend here is Connaughton. He gets a boost in minutes here, but that's only for GPPs. Obviously, with 1% ownership, he's not going to be cash viable. Wesley Matthews here, 5.4 is going to be the next best value here. But Milwaukee actually doesn't change that much. Again, I'm still really high on Memphis. I think I covered all the chalk, guys. So like I said, this slate is very straightforward, but it's a great slate. Let me go ahead and start building values here. Yeah, I'm going to start building some lineups to see what this is going to look like. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through your questions too. Scroll all the way up top here. Wes Matthews, question mark. Wes Matthews is not as good as the Memphis value, but if you want to start with GPP, for sure. Appreciate the love, guys. I really do appreciate all the support recently. Love the content. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Yeah, and do we have an update on Melton? And yes, Brandon Ingram is a very viable GPP option. So we're going to sit back here. I'm going to look at my builds, and I'll give you guys my favorite plays on the slate here. We haven't touched base on the Lakers or Portland yet. I'll get to that. I'll touch base on Portland in just a second here. So yeah, starting at the top here, Jalen Brunson's obviously going to be my favorite play. I think we're going to be overweight on the field with Brunson. Obviously should hit value, should have no problem in doing that if he does play 30 minutes. James Harden's going to be my sneaky GPP option. I'll probably tag him around 30%. I'm going to be slightly overweight on him on the field. Val's going to be one of my favorite plays here. Obviously, our favorite cash play, Solomon Hill, Kyle Anderson. And then I'm going to go ahead and stop right there. I'm going to go ahead and talk about Portland. So Portland and the Lakers, obviously with the primetime matchup, with it being the first game and I just got rid of all my notifications here, guys. Hold on. Obviously, with it being the first time back in Staples Center with the Kobe tragedy. So this game's going to be very emotional. There's going to be some narratives in this game. But let's step back and not look at that real quick. When you take Carmelo Anthony off the court, CJ McCollum benefits, Damian Lillard benefits a lot, Whiteside benefits a lot, and so does Ariza. So those are going to be the guys I'm going to be looking at in this game. So CJ McCollum comes out to a 5.7 on our sheet. I actually really like CJ McCollum for GPPs. None of these guys are going to be high owned. Hold on. DJ's calling. All right, you good? Hold on. They can't hear you. I got to adjust my settings real quick.
I'm assuming you guys
can
hear me. So that's
no, they can hear you. All right.
Can you?
Yeah, so I'm talking about Portland right now, so I'm on the roll here. CJ McCollum is probably going to be a decent GPP option here at 5.7, obviously with Melo being off the court. Damian Lillard is still underpriced, guys. He's averaging, I forget the fantasy points per minute, but it's like 1.6. It's something crazy like that. At 9.9, he's still a very viable GPP option. So Damian Lillard is another great pay-up option, and also Hassan Whiteside being here, 8.4, 5.5 on our sheet. Obviously, with these guys being great pay-up options, this is going to be a slight pace-down spot for Portland, which is why it's driving down the ownership. But if they are going over 108, they are very, very viable for GPP. And on the flip side, guys, obviously with LeBron, we know the narrative is in play. I'm not a huge narrative guy, but if this is a game where I'm going to look at for narratives, LeBron James is the guy. I mean, obviously, he's going to play his heart out tonight. There should be no reason he has a very safe floor, I'd say. LeBron James is going to be highly owned. For that reason, 30% is what they have here at cash. It's going to be a pace-up game against Portland. I do like a couple of these other guys for GPPs. Danny Green shows a little bit underpriced here. Rajon Rondo, obviously, with it being a primetime game, we can't ignore primetime Rondo. Coming in at 8%, obviously another GPP option. Kuzma is slightly undervalued, and also AD will be very, very undervalued, or very appreciated here with the percentage ownership. So I like all these guys, but just because it is a pace-up spot, these guys do have high ceilings. TJ, I know you're just jumping into this, but do you like the Trailblazers or the Lakers tonight?
I absolutely love Damian Lillard.
All right, your connection's screwed up.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's very fuzzy.
It's fuzzy?
Yeah.
Hello?
You guys are getting that too, right? Go ahead and just keep talking. I'll see if they have an issue with it.
Is that better?
No.
Huh, interesting. Okay. I absolutely love Dame tonight in GPPs. I'm going to be very overweight on him tonight. I feel like a lot of people are forgetting that you have to take Kent Bazemore off when you're running a court IQ. It's just another guard that can actually handle the ball that's off the court. So that just gives all the more time for Dame to handle the ball. I understand McCollum's back last game. Didn't matter at all. Dame actually got a price reduction, too, after his mammoth night against Houston. So I definitely like Dame tonight. If they can somehow keep it competitive against the Lakers and he sees his allotted 37 minutes, I'm going to be very overweight on him in GPPs. I was talking to Matt about it earlier. I said Dame's still not getting that much love, and it's rare. Or it's not rare. It's just weird seeing it, especially after the tear he's been on. The last 4 games has been absolutely amazing. He's averaging like 80 DraftKings points in the last 4 games. It's absurd. I know they had a lot of injuries, trades, what have you, but they had an almost healthy roster against Houston, and he still had a triple-double. So going to be overweight on him. I don't mind Whiteside as a GPP play. I do like McCollum again, 6,400. I think he is a really good GPP play tonight. Like I said, if these guys can stay competitive with the Lakers, I really do like them. Ariza without Melo is I don't hate it at 5K. I think Lillard, Whiteside, McCollum, and Ariza are all going to play 35 minutes. So as long as Whiteside can stay out of foul trouble, because they're going to need him tonight against those bigs of Howard and McGee. So I definitely like all those guys for GPPs, but I really do like Damian Lillard. And then on the flip side, I know Matt was talking about the narrative with Kobe and LBJ. It's definitely going to be a very emotional game for the Lakers. And I fully expect LeBron to take control and take over this game early and often and throughout the whole entire game and sustain it. So he's one of my favorite cash plays at 10.3, him and Harden. I just, like last night with Beal with the All-Star snub and just how he played. He was in, I added GPP last night, 20 max entry for $1 in one of my lineups, $150. That was pretty nice. Came in third. And I had Beal because I was all in on the narrative that he got snubbed and he's going to come out on fire. So I think someone in the chat was alluding to Booker as well. Like, yeah, I kind of think that's going to light a fire under some of these guys' butts. Like, I think Booker comes out and he plays very well tonight, and I think he's going to try and stick it to a lot of people, as Beal did last night. So the narrative with LeBron, though, obviously he's going to do everything he can to bring a championship to the Lakers, especially after Kobe passing away tragically. So I definitely love LeBron tonight in cash. I think he's a great play, even at 10-3. Like Matt said, he has a very low floor, or very high floor. So I'm really big on LeBron. I like Rondo as a GPP play. I just wish the minutes were there. Unfortunately, they're never really there for him. If this game does blow out, I think he's going to play more minutes at the point guard position. So I definitely like him at 3,600 as a GPP play. And I don't hate Danny Green. If he gets hot, he can easily pay off that 3.5 price tag and by halftime. So those are the 3 guys I'm looking at for the Lakers.
Yep, I completely agree with you. I'm going to hang up and call back real quick to see if the connection gets better. So I'm going to do that real quick.
Okay.
Bear with us, guys.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's actually a lot better, so that helped. All right.
Sweet.
Thank goodness. All right, so yeah, while you were gone, you didn't really miss much. I went over and I built my lineups, and I think we've hit all the chalk. So if I go back here to my lineups here, we covered Dallas, we covered the Rockets. I covered the Rockets while you were gone. We covered Memphis. All aboard the Memphis train. Damian Lillard. I want to talk about these Suns real quick because there's some decent GPP options there with the Suns. So with Baines off the court, it seems like this is a different team. This is like an offensive outburst with a couple of these players. Devin Booker, as you just alluded to with the narrative, Devin Booker averages 1.35, I think it was 1.35 fantasy points per minute. Comes out to a 5.5 on a sheet, 9.1. Obviously, with the price tag being so high, it being an average to a pace down spot against OKC, some of these guys would make into a great GPP option. I think Devin Booker is one of those guys. Coming at 7% ownership, I think Devin Booker is another great GPP play. Kelly Oubre also being undervalued here at 36 minutes of 5.8 on our sheet. Mikal Bridges, another decent option here. 32 minutes, 4.2, not a bad option as well. And then I think I draw the line there. Ricky Rubio, 5.9 is getting down there, but he's been playing really bad lately without Baines on the court for some reason. So if I had to name some really good GPP options from this game, Oubre, Booker topped the list there, and I think those are some decent plays. I made a lot of money with Booker the other night, so I do like Devin Booker.
I think the whole Rubio thing is him and Baines would run the pick and roll a lot, so I think that really benefited him. But when Baines was in, at least. So yeah, it's weird seeing Ricky Rubio at 5,900. I feel like we haven't seen him there all year. So I definitely will take some stabs at him in GPPs tonight because I feel like he'll come out of the slump eventually. I don't know if tonight's the night, but I like the matchup against the OKC guard. So I'll definitely have some shares of Rubio tonight in GPPs. I definitely like the narrative with Booker. I think he's going to come out and just chuck shots and try and show everybody like Beal did last night and say, I should be in the All-Star game. And rightfully so. I think he deserves to be there. I like Oubre at 6,300. I think that's a little too cheap. I don't hate Mikal Bridges as a GPP play either. Just anybody at 4K getting 32 minutes I can get behind. And he's relatively productive, 0.74 fantasy points per minute with him, with Baines, Cam Johnson, and Baines, Cam Johnson. Who is the other one that is out for the Kaminsky? So I definitely don't hate him as a GPP play. Booker's the guy that I'm really looking at 9-1. It's a little pricey, but I'm buying into the narrative. So.
Yeah, I think those are some of my favorite GPP options if I had to go away from the chalky teams. I also mentioned Satoransky on my video is another. He's coming at 4.6 here, 30 minutes. So he got an uptick in minutes here. What's up?
Satoransky's, I love Satoransky for GPPs tonight. He rates out very well on our sheet.
Yep. Good matchup, too.
He's like a 6'4" on our sheet, so I'm definitely going to be overweight on Satoransky.
Yeah, Satoransky's definitely.
It's 4.6. That's crazy.
It's not a bad spot either. 107 is actually not bad for Chicago. It's a pretty average spot. But again, they're in a good matchup.
And I mean, the last week he's played pretty well. So I mean, I'm definitely on Satoransky and GPPs for sure.
I think from Chicago, I think that's the only option. Him and Kobe White, but I mean, he's at 21 minutes. I probably am only going to play Satoransky from that game. Chris Dunn's not a bad option, 29 minutes, 5.1. Yeah,
I don't mind Chris Dunn at all. I could get behind Levine. I'd rather go to Booker. But Satoransky's the guy that really pops out on the page for Chicago.
All right, TJ, we only have about 17 minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and start rolling through these questions because I know we missed a ton. So I'm going to go back up. I covered a couple here.
This chair is so squeaky. Someone remind me to buy new chairs.
Brunson, okay to fade in GPPs. I do not recommend that. I think Jalen Brunson's. I'm going to be overweight on him in GPPs. I think he's your.
I mean, you can. Yeah, God bless you.
No, I don't think it's
try
smart.
that. If by some divine miracle Jalen Brunson only hits value, you are in a fantastic spot because he will be 70% owned in GPPs. So I mean, that's that'd be awesome. But I don't think you can do it tonight. I don't think you can. I think it's impossible to fade him.
Thank you for the subscription. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah, I just see everybody freaking out about your fire alarm. Well, let me get past that.
Oh my God, my ears are bleeding. I didn't even move from this chair. I just held my Ankur telling me buy a new chair. I know I got it. I was just holding my ears. It's terrible. It goes off like twice a week. It's crazy.
Do you like Zach LaVine for cash? I do not tonight. I'm sorry. I like other options for cash. I think your builds are going to look like Memphis, Pelicans, Dallas, and then whoever you're paying up for. I can't really argue with any of the pay up options tonight. I think that's going to be your cash build.
Yeah, I think for cash tonight, you're paying up for Harden or LeBron or Dame, 2 of the 3. I think Harden and James are going to be the guys that people go for, but I really like Dame tonight. So, but for cash to be safe, I think Harden and LeBron are your guys that you're spending up. So it's going to be tough to have Harden, LeBron, and then also roster Zach LaVine. So, well, I guess it won't be because of the value in Memphis, but I think you need Valanciunas too. So.
Any love for Ariza with Carmelo out? Yeah, we alluded to that earlier. I mean, not love, but I mean, he's a decent option. If you want to play him in GPPs, for sure. I wouldn't recommend him in cash, though. I mean, if he's one of your last spots, maybe.
Yeah, I'd rather go down to Jay Crowder at 4,500. But yeah, I definitely don't hate Ariza tonight at 5K. I mean, he's been playing very well for Portland so far. So
Harden is so overdue. I completely agree. I think just because he's in such a smash spot, I'm going to be a little bit overweight on him. But I'm also going to be overweight on Westbrook. Like, one of those two guys has to go ballistic, and obviously stats point to Harden, but obviously with there's a possible injury, with him, so Westbrook could have just as good of a game. So again, I'm going to be overweight on both those guys, so I expect one of them to go off tonight.
It's kind of crazy that I'm almost a little bit afraid to roster James Harden.
And that's never the case, right?
We've seen lately, it's like, yeah, you have Capella out in a game like last year, and I understand Westbrook wasn't there, but like they had Chris Paul. So if you had Capella out, it's like I wouldn't even think twice. James Harden could be 12.5, and I'm like, he's in my lineup no matter what. And seeing him at 10-6 and like I'm kind of fringe on having him is just it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him, but I do hope this is a bounce back game, because if so, I'm going to make a lot of money tonight. With Milwaukee, Middleton in Milwaukee, yes, Middleton isn't that bad of a play. I mean, he got the price increase here with DiVincenzo out, but again, he doesn't really rate well on their sheet. He shows to a 4.7. I know it's a slight, well, it's actually a pace down spot, so I'm going to retract that. I don't think Middleton's a good play tonight unless you're playing GPPs. I was looking at somebody else's name, sorry. Yeah, I think the only guy, when you calculated Milwaukee, TJ, did you get anybody but Connaughton and like Wesley Matthews pop in your sheet?
As in, Wesley Matthews did not pop on my sheet.
I mean 5.4. But GPP.
I don't have. Yeah, a GPP play. Yeah, he's 3K. He's gonna get 25 minutes, so I don't hate that. But yeah, no, the Bucks, I try and stay away from them. It's just
they're a little overpriced because of Giannis being out too.
Yeah, and I mean they're so good that like they don't even need Giannis. Like it's just crazy how well they mesh together. So I don't really have any interest in Milwaukee. Like Matt said, if you want to have Wes Matthews in GBPs, sure, he's 3K and he'll see 25 minutes. So why not take some stabs? But I'm definitely not going to get to Chris Middleton tonight in GPPs. It's 8K. I mean, it's not worth it.
Do you think the Suns can run with the Thunder's defense? I got Booker, Rubio, and Bridges as fillers. This is what I have to say about teams like that. If you're gonna play a couple players from that team, sure, go for it. But I wouldn't stack a team necessarily unless it's somebody that's very underpriced, like Memphis or Dallas that we alluded to earlier. But I wouldn't roster like an entire team. That's not a good option unless you go to like triple OT or something, unless you get very lucky. But I wouldn't roster like 3 of those players. I'd probably roster 1 or 2, because one of those guys is going to have a very good ceiling and somebody's going to go off. And like I said, I think it's going to be Oubre or Booker just in their situations. So that's my 2 cents on that. Don't put too much of a team into one of your lineups unless they're undervalued like a lot. Obviously with Memphis is who I'm referring to here. Lillard's production just seems unsustainable. We thought that too, right? he just keeps
he'll
snapping.
Yeah, he'll cool off eventually, but even with Melo off, like his usage bump is crazy, and you got to think they don't have Bazemore anymore. They don't have as many guys handling the ball. He gets a 7.3% usage bump with everybody off the court, averages 1.74 fantasy points per minute. I don't expect him to average, 80 DraftKings points like he has over the last 4 games, but for him to get 60 plus again tonight, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities, and that's 6 times value in a game where they're going to need scoring because they are on the road against the Lakers that are going to be very motivated tonight. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think, it's not sustainable, but can he get you 60? For sure. Could he get you 70? Yeah, I mean, he's done it over the last 4 games, so why not make it a 5th? And like I said, it's a game that they're going to need him to go off in order to stay competitive. So,
Booker, Levine, and GPP. I'm going to say Booker.
Yeah, I'm saying Booker too.
Kobe is in the Yahoo player pool for $8. That's pretty cool. Honestly, if I was doing GPPs and DraftKings had that option, I'd play a lineup with Kobe for sure. Absolutely. That's pretty cool. I like that.
Somebody just touched base on Chicago's injury report. Yeah, they list everybody as probable every single night now. I don't understand what it is, but
they don't know how to use that thing.
Nat Hutchinson, Chris Dunn. It's just absolutely ridiculous what they do every single night for their injury report. But all those guys are playing that are game time decisions besides Gafford. So
I'm going to my lineups here, so I give everybody something to look at here while I answer these questions. McCollum and Ingram, or Dame or Kuzma GPP. I would go McCollum and Ingram because of the upside there with their price tags probably. I think McCollum is undervalued here, and he obviously benefits without Melo, and then Ingram with the upside of the highest over-under on the entire slate at 125. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, but like I
Yeah.
think that
Both of them are good.
yeah, I think they're both good. I really like Dame. He'll probably suck tonight now that I'm just saying how much I love him. But I do really like Dame again tonight. He's gonna have to be really aggressive to stay competitive with the Lakers. And then Kuzma, if they do blow him, I guess it's kind of like a catch-22 because if Dame stays competitive, or if the Trailblazers stay competitive, I don't know about Kuzma's minutes, but like if they get absolutely blown out, that means more run for Kuzma. So I think that Ingram and McCollum is safer.
Just got here. Who's your best pay up, and who is the best to fade tonight? Who's your best pay up? Depending on what contest you're entering in, I like James Harden for GPPs and Westbrook the same. For cash, I think you got to go with LeBron 100%.
Yeah, cash is LeBron or Valanciunas, but I guess your absolute spend up is going to be LeBron. Favorite fade?
I have one.
Go ahead.
I have Porzingis for GPPs. I'm a little underweight on him. I think 28 minutes is a little scary. Not that I'm saying he's not a good play. I just think that the 28 minutes it's gonna limit his upside. So I'm probably gonna exclude Porzingis from my GPP player pool. I know how that might be crazy, but again, you know how aggressive I am.
All right, my fade. You ready?
Yeah.
It's gonna be Nikola Jokic on a back-to-back playing against the Bucks. That's my fade.
Okay, who's your cash fade? I'm gonna make it hard on you. I'm not gonna. You can't take Jokic and no, that's too easy.
Why is that too easy?
Because he's not gonna carry an ownership.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's 9,300. Okay, so so I can give you somebody that will carry. Well, I mean, he's projected pretty high. Are you kidding me?
All right, he's not that bad, but still, I mean, come on.
What's he at for percent ownership? Hit me with that.
11.
Okay, I see 14. So I'm fading him.
Okay.
My cash. Well, I mean, I only do one lineup when I post it for the members, so it's not like I'm gonna have 4 cash lineups. One guy that I'll probably be fading in cash that could carry some ownership, and it hurts me, is probably Ja Morant.
Okay. Just because I can agree with that. I mean, that's not bad.
He'll be chalky. I mean, it's such a good matchup, so it's like, don't be stupid, TJ, but also at the same rate, it's like, I mean, at 7K, I feel like I think I'd rather pay up for Brandon Ingram. So yeah, that's my fate is probably Ja Morant.
Levine, Ja, or SGA, or Harden, Porzingis, Satoransky. Ooh, for cash or GPP? If it's GPP, I like that second one a lot. As much as I just got done saying I like Porzingis and GPPs, but it's Levine, Ja Morant, or SGA, or Harden, Porzingis, Satoransky.
Oh, Harden. Is that for what?
He didn't say.
Harden, Porzingis, Satoransky.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see. PJ Tucker or Noel. I like Tucker tonight. I think Tucker's gonna be sneaky. He isn't. Yeah. He's always like a make or break guy, but I like PJ Tucker tonight. He's playing the 5.
When he's at the center position, I think the rebounds aren't going to be there as much, just because Harden and Westbrook are both playing. So I wouldn't expect the same output that he had against Utah. But I think you know what? Now that I think about that, you said Tucker. I'm going. Give me Nerlens Noel. I'm taking Nerlens Noel.
Okay. Drew Holiday GPP. I did not mention Drew Holiday, and I'll tell you why. Because he's so expensive. 8.1K. That makes him to be a very good GPP play. Could easily go off in that high over under, coming at 3%. So I do like Drew Holiday's GPP. If you're looking for a filler, I definitely like him for sure. He's just because he's gonna carry so much low ownership and he's in a high over under. Derek Favors for GPP. Yes, I think Derek Favors is another good GPP option. We like these Pelicans for GPP. Zion 7K, good for GPP. Yes, I'm just gonna say yes to all the questions for Pelicans. I like all these guys for GPPs. The only guys I don't like are Hayes, Melly, and Jackson. Frank Jackson there at the bottom. All these other guys are viable. Like Josh Hart, 26 minutes, 3.9 could easily hit value and then some. Easily. You missed the Suns info. Can I have a quick recap? Absolutely. We like the Suns, we like Booker, and we like Oubre. 2 favorite options.
And Mikal Bridges as a GPP play. As a flag.
Yeah.
But yeah, Booker.
Crowder or Hardaway? I'm going to go Crowder.
Yeah, Jay Crowder for sure.
Satoransky, Booker, LeBron, Hill, Noel, Brunson, Anderson, Harden for GPP. Love it. Love that, actually. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I can get behind that. I'm just trying to think of who at like that, because I'm pretty sure Noel's what? Noel's 5K flat, right?
Mhm.
Is he 5K? Can't find him.
He is 4.2, 20 minutes.
Wow, I didn't know he's 4.2 tonight. Yeesh. Okay, yeah, I like that.
I will say this, guys. If you have a lineup with 5 Memphis Grizzlies, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'm going to probably play a single entry with a lot of these Grizzlies just because you know how aggressive I am, and TJ hates when I do that too. I played 5 Milwaukee Bucks the other night in single entry GPPs, and it was just so easy. They all hit value, and I got right above the cash line. Luckily, I forget who I had. I had somebody from Charlotte that just stunk. Of course, why would I ever play a Charlotte player? And that was the only thing holding me back. I would have easily taken that down. House or PJ Tucker? Probably PJ Tucker.
House or PJ Tucker? Yeah, it's tough, man. I hate to disagree with you, but I think I'd say House.
Sato should be in, yes. Cash core plays. Well, let's go ahead and recap that real quick. I'm gonna go back to my lineups.
I think your 3 cash core plays tonight are Jalen Brunson, Valanciunas, and LeBron. And then I also like Jay Crowder, Solomon Hill. If you get up to Harden as well as LeBron, I think that's awesome. If Porzingis' minutes were there, I would definitely be locking him in cash, but I'm really skeptical with the whole knee thing and him only playing 27 minutes in the last 5 games since coming back. I understand Luka's out, but I feel like they're not trying to rush him back, Porzingis, to get his allotted, 34-ish minutes. So if the minutes were there for Porzingis, I'd love him at 6'8" in this matchup against Houston. But
Brandon Clark officially ruled out. Gafford officially ruled out.
It's going to be Melton. So yeah, those I think your cash locks tonight are Jalen Brunson, Valanciunas, and LeBron. Jay Crowder definitely viable. Solomon Hill definitely viable. Harden definitely viable. And those are the guys that I'm really looking at. And then some fillers like Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Porzingis, I guess, if like the minutes are just really sketchy with him. Zion, I guess. I'd rather have Ingram, but I don't hate Zion. So that's kind of where I'm looking at. And then Satoransky too at 4.6. That's way too undervalued for him.
Your GPP line is currently Booker, CJ McCollum, Ingram, Valanciunas, Brunson, Crowder, with 2 spots left for 6,250 left. I like that lineup so far. I'd have to go back and see what the lineup constructions are.
6,250 left?
Yeah. Do you have any plays left for him? Solomon Hill, are you trying to get him in there and then pay for somebody else? I think you're missing him. You're also missing Kyle Anderson. I think Kyle Anderson's another good play.
I think you might be able to squeeze in.
Zion could go in there.
I was thinking Porzingis and Derek Favors. I don't know if you can squeeze that though. That's 68 and 55, so that's what 12-3, and you have 62. I think you might be able to make that work. I don't know what you have for bigs. I know you mentioned.
I'm gonna call you back. Your mic's messing up again.
Really?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, see, you're better now. I don't know why it keeps doing that. All right. Any Thad Young versus Nets? Thad Young's not a bad play. GPP only, though. How was Rondo tonight? Can you hear me, TJ? Nope.
Yellow.
All right, you're good. Yeah, our connections together is not going too well. How is Rondo tonight? Rondo's in the primetime matchup. However, he's only getting 20 minutes, so, GPP only.
Did you hear my Dame or Braun for cash?
No.
Okay. I would go with LeBron for cash just solely on ownership. I think he's going to carry way more ownership than Dame. I really like Dame tonight to try and keep it close against the Lakers. So Dame would be more of the GPP play out of him and LeBron. Somebody just said any Reggie Jackson love. Reggie Jackson rates out fantastically on our sheet at 4,800. I forgot all about him. I definitely love him for GPPs tonight.
Yeah, I said that on our video. It's just like I can't stop. What am I trying to say here?
I don't know.
I've been hating him for the past week, and I just need to stop doing that. There, I said it. He just keeps averaging 4 or 1.3, between 1.3 and 1.4 fantasy points per minute. The guy's unreal. He's been playing at an unreal level lately. So
yeah, he's been great since he's come back. So it's a tough matchup against Toronto. So definitely a GPP play, but he rates out well on our sheet, so I can definitely get behind him.
Top 3 GPP, I'll say James Harden, and Solomon Hill's percentage ownership keeps going down. Solomon Hill's one of my favorite GPP plays, and then I'll say Kyle Anderson again. Those are my favorite plays for GPPs.
Yeah.
Dame or LeBron, you already answered that. Ayton, ? Why? Did we say Ayton?
I don't think we necessarily touched based on Ayton.
Ayton's not a bad play, but I mean he rates well on our sheet. It's in a pace down spot, so strictly GPP. Thoughts on this GPP build? Brunson, Lillard, Harden, Brooks, Ingram, Hill, Zion, Ibaka. We didn't talk about Ibaka. He's actually not bad.
Yeah, I like that. I like Ibaka too.
J Val. I like that. Yeah, Ibaka's gonna fly under the radar too. He's at 6.9. But again, I think your lineup's FanDuel, so.
Yeah, he named 9 guys. I like that.
Steven Adams Cash. Let me see what his ownership's looking like here. He's not a bad option because he's underpriced, but let me see what his ownership's at.
I wouldn't take him.
Yeah, 8%. No, not for cash.
Not for cash.
All right, GPP lineup. I have 10.1 left for point guard and center position. Oh, you mean total? Oh wow, you have a lot of money to spend.
Is it total?
Yeah, I think so. No, I think it's well, yeah. Specify that, please.
No, it's definitely total.
GPP line is now Booker, CJ McCollum, Ingram, Porzingis, Val, Brunson, Crowder, Favors. I don't mind that. You have a lot of guys with upside there.
Yeah, he got in Porzingis. It was that must have been Sano that asked about that lineup. Yeah, he got in Porzingis and Favors. Yeah, I like that.
Cool. Melton game time decision, of course. Still, it doesn't really shake up things too much. I'm still all over the Memphis Grizzlies. It will knock up these guys in a couple minutes for the guard position. But other than that, it's not going to do too much. Jackson or Satoransky? Jackson. Which Jackson? Which Jackson would you be referring
to? Reggie Jackson, I would assume.
Oh yeah, Reggie Jackson. You're right.
I'd go Satoransky.
I'd go Satoransky as well. Booker, Brunson, LeBron, Solomon, Porzingis, Lillard, Kuzma, Tyus. You really like Kuzma tonight, Grant. Tyus for GPP. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's not bad.
I think Grant's thinking blowout, more run for Kuz. And I mean, he's 30, what is he, 3,800, 3,900? That's crazy. He's 3,900.
I forgot about that. Gary Harris is out for Denver.
Oh, he did get rolled out.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and go over that real quick. After that, guys, I'm going to get off here. Fire any questions you have into the chat. We're going to go ahead and compute Denver real quick, and then I'll go ahead and get off.
I don't think they're going to. I guess, like last night, Will Barton gets a little bit of a bump. Mm-hmm. But just coming off a back-to-back playing against Milwaukee, I don't think any of those guys are cash viable with or without. I guess
they're not cash viable now.
No, Monty Morris gets a little bit more of a bump. He'll probably play 30. I mean, what did he play last night? 32 minutes against Utah. He'll probably play 32 again. Michael Porter at 5'4" is definitely interesting. But yeah, I think Will Barton at 5'8" would be a decent play now. I mean, if they stay competitive, he'll play 35, 36 minutes. So I definitely wouldn't hate him as a GPP play, but no cash plays with or without Gary Harris. So.
Yeah, Barton was a letdown last night for sure. He let down a lot of people, including me.
Yeah, you can say that again. Tyus Jones, yeah. If Melton's out, man, I'd definitely like Tyus Jones, for sure. We gotta wait. We gotta wait and see what's going on, though. I mean, that's the stinky thing about him being a game time decision. Melton, that is. You know, I was gonna go to the gym after this. No. I think that's off the table.
Torrey Craig, 31 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's a trap.
0.78 fantasy points per minute. He is a 3.6, so yeah, 26.52. Yeah, he's a sensational on our sheet. Yeah, so I really like Torrey Craig for GPPs here. Let me go ahead and update everything. If he's only gonna be, if he's only 3.6, that's not bad at all. 31 minutes is a lot of minutes.
Oh, I was thinking of Malik Beasley.
No. Torrey Craig, 31 minutes here.
Makes sense.
He averages what was it? 0.78 fantasy points per minute. That's not bad.
No, that's not bad. Yeah, definitely a good GPP play. I was thinking Malik Beasley.
Oh, guys, see, this is what happens when you stay till the very end. Get these hidden gems.
All right.
Down, but not by much. Okay. I'm going to have a lot of stars and scrubs builds tonight, I can tell you that. Uh-oh. Yeah, so Torrey Craig rivals a lot of these Memphis Grizzlies as far as value now. So I have Brunson here, and then I have Craig. I have Valanciunas, Anderson, Solomon Hill as my favorite value plays here. But Craig's definitely GPP. I would not put him in cash. Definitely not. If you're looking for a sneaky GPP option, sure, Craig could definitely step up. And plus, or if they really are, if they're playing it back to back here, Torrey Craig could get more run, but just because he's coming off the bench. So, something to consider. All right, let me go and answer some questions here, and then I'll get off. Here's my crazy DraftKings GPP lineup. Alexander, Brunson, James, LeBron James, Hill, Valanciunas, Westbrook, Crowder, Adams. That's not crazy. I don't mind that for GPP.
You want to know what's crazy? Being
What's that?
80% on Dame tonight.
That might not be crazy. I just think there's so many pay-up options that you're going to have to, distribute.
Oh, yeah? How about 40% on JJ Barea?
Okay, that might be crazy.
That's how you win, baby.
That's true. That's how you win. You go crazy. All right, I don't see any more questions. Zion or Porzingis. Depends on what contest you're talking about. I think Porzingis is coming in slightly more ownership, so Porzingis in cash. I'll say Zion and GPPs. Pick one: Ariza, Hardaway, or Crowder. I'm gonna go Crowder. What about Kyrie, guys? Kyrie is definitely under the radar. Averages 1.43 fantasy points per minute now, in a pace-up spot, so definitely not a bad option for GPP. Sure. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here, guys. We're gonna take a last-minute look here at my builds. Torrey Craig's gonna be the last guy that popped on our sheet here. Torrey Craig, Valanciunas, guys, stack Memphis with a little bit of value, with a little bit of different pay-up options here. You can stack LeBron. We like LeBron. We like Lillard. We love James Harden. We love Westbrook. We love all these pay-up options. So, again, I'm not going to really recommend one of these guys. I know that's kind of boring, but James Harden does get the biggest boost. I'm going to be overweight on all these pay-up options. It's going to definitely be a stars and scrubs kind of night, and then mix them with a little bit of Pelicans if you can get to them. But that's what my builds are going to look like. TJ, do you have anything to add to that? Any last words?
Yeah, last words. Cash, Jalen Brunson, Valanciunas, LeBron, lock them in. I think Solomon Hill as well, and Jay Crowder. I think those are going to be my 5 guys, and then go from there. James Harden's a good pay-up spot. I like Porzingis if the minutes are there. I don't hate Zion Williamson. I really like Ingram. So that's kind of where my head's at right now.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Again, appreciate all the support. If this is your first time to the stream, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you tomorrow. Or I will, at least. All right, so with all that being said, guys, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and let's cash.
See you guys.